Today on the Oddcast, we have some messages. We try to play most of them on the regular radio show, but some of them we save for the Oddcast, and we save Jenny Jane for you today.
We always have an odd one in the crowd.
So it's kind of odd.
Decidedly odd.
Doesn't that strike you as a little bit odd?
No, that doesn't strike me as a little bit odd.
It's the Bob and Sheri Oddcast. It's stuff we wouldn't, couldn't, or shouldn't do on the regular show. Now, here's the Oddcast.
Good morning, Bob and Sheri. Show my older sister. She used to torture me. I was left in the top of a tree. I was hung upside down by my ankle in a rope. I fell off a cliff. Fell out of a moving car. Did I say got handcuffed on the third floor of a Victorian house with only box fans in the summer in New York? So yes, the box fan was a big deal. And if you got hot, Dad would say, well, go down to the living room and sleep on the floor underneath the ceiling fan because, oh my, it is so much cooler on the first floor in New York in August. Okay, so I got to go. Love you guys. But then, after the sisters were moved out of the third floor, baby Marcus, little baby Marcus, moved up to the third floor and they got him air conditioning. Oh, doesn't it piss you off? Oh, anyways, that's not for the show. I just had to tell you. Love you. Bye. Okay, so you know when you're drinking and you wait and you wait and you wait to go pee and then you finally go pee and then it's like, oh, I broke the seal and you got all this pee that has to come out. It's kind of like that with sending you messages. It's definitely a breaking the seal sort of thing. But now, why did I call? Oh, frosting your finger in the frosting, Sheri? That is just about the same thing bacteria-wise as Bob re-putting his spoon, knife, whatever back inside the peanut butter. But I don't think if you kind of carve out your own little area that is just going to be yours or have your own container, then it's okay. But I really have to get myself together. The sun is up now. Love you. Bye. And, this isn't for this show, by the way. This is just I have to do things in threes also. It's a compulsion.
I love it. I love Jenny Jane. Let's start with the sibling torment. Oh. I mean, did you hear what she said? She was handcuffed. She was restrained. I mean, this was crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
Troy never did this to you, Lamar, right? You didn't have that.
No. It's a whole different deal. With I was like the chosen for him. It was, he did terrify me with rolling me up in a quilt so I couldn't move. And he terrified me with shock theater. Other than that, though, it was all right.
I found a video on my phone. Your iPhone will throw up memories. I found a video on my phone a couple weeks ago of the kids throwing themselves like a slip and slide down the carpeted stairs at our old house, jumping on a sleeping bag and flinging themselves down the stairs of our old house. And it was like Russell and Zane. It was the boys because Olivia and Karamia, the three of us were like, oh, we want to have a tea party. Like we just weren't all rough and tumble because I grew up with brothers, no parental oversight in the woods where no one could hear you scream. So I did not want to recreate that for my daughters. And so we grew up in a little weird, soft, glittery princess world, not the feral island of Dr. Moreau that was my own childhood, where my brother would be like, Cher, listen, so do you want to play with us? And of course, I was starved to play with them because they had each other and I had Barbies, right? It's like, yeah, I want to play. Yeah, so here's the deal. We're going to give you a head start. And you're going to run off into the woods behind the barn and don't stop to rest and hide yourself pretty good because we're going to hunt you. I don't want to be hunted. Well, that's the game. You just agreed to play with us. We're the hunters or the prey. I don't want to be the prey. That's the game. You agreed to it. But, all right, you better go. I don't want to. 1, 2, 3. My ass headed for those hills. So you guys don't know what you missed growing up in civilized families with kindly older siblings. Oh. Although Max certainly would have traded the abuse he's taken as an adult for a little bit of good-natured roughhousing in childhood. So I just my book club read a really interesting book last month. It was like a one of these page turning beachy kind of thriller reads called Watching You, by an author named Lisa Jewell. And anybody that's read any of Lisa Jewell's books knows, like, yeah, you're going to be very, very entertained. And at the very end of the book, and I won't give the ending away, or the beginning or the middle for that matter, because it's not but a short podcast. But at the ending of the book, one of the characters talks about what it's like to grow up with a sibling, that people who don't have a sibling cannot imagine what it's like to have another person who is experiencing your life and childhood, but in a completely different and unique way. Like they're sitting right next to you at every birthday party, every long, boring holiday dinner, every summer vacation, every time your parents fight, all of it. That person is right there. They know you. They've lived your life and walked your path with you at the exact same time that they are a completely different person and having their own experience with all of this, which is why sometimes two siblings will have completely different memories of the same event, right? Life is not unfolding in front of you on a screen and you're consuming it. You're experiencing it and you bring yourself to every bit of that. And I think people who grow up without a sibling, it's something you just can't, you can daydream about it, but you can't really imagine it. And every sibling relationship is a little bit different. Like the one that you have with your brother Lamar, he was very almost like paternal, I think. Was it the age difference?
I think it was. It was the age, and it could have went either way, I guess. But I was sort of like a plaything for him. I mean, I was like his pet. I mean, he took me on dates. He took me uptown with him. We'd ride around Dairy Queen, and like I say, he'd roll down the window and stick me out there and have me say stuff. I don't know what I was saying. Oh my gosh, there's no telling.
But you were with him, and that's all that mattered.
Yep. Oh yeah. He was my man. He was. He really was.
And how about for you, Max? Like what was it like when you were little with your brother and sister?
So my sister was 4 or 5 years older than me. So we really were never close. We never had a relationship, and it's kind of how it is today. My brother and I, we were close. He teased me all the time. And of course, his response was, well, yeah, I teased you, but if you weren't so easy, then I wouldn't have done it. So
it's your fault.
It was very interesting that it was my fault that I was being teased. But we were close. I mean, we really were close. It's sadly, it's only as adults that we're not now. And I'm very sad about that part of it. But he was relentless in teasing me when we were little.
It's very it's a very strange when you step back and think about it. It's very strange the way you can grow up in a house full of other kids and then become adults and they're like strangers. You're not alone in that, Max. A lot of people, I have that in my family, like a lot of people have that. And you just go, how can that be? Like when you're a kid, you can't fathom it. But then you get to be a grown-up and you go, well, just because, two people are born in the same family doesn't mean they're going to have anything.
No, because my sister she just disapproves of me, first of all. She disapproves of my life. She disapproves that I've never been married. She disapproves that I never had children. She disapproves of the business that I'm in. I mean, this is the entertainment business. She and my brother-in-law went off and they worked at their secret government job, and we all know what that means, don't we? And
yes,
State Department.
Yeah. When anybody says, you say, well, where do you work? It's, oh, well, I work for the government printing office. I work for Department of Defense. Where do you work? I work for the government. We all know what that means.
You know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were not close when we were little, and we were not close as adults. And yeah, to be honest, I wish that we had a better relationship, and I've tried. And the thing is you can't turn yourself into something you think somebody wants you to be in order to have a relationship with them. And that's the thing that I've kind of come against through the course of time. And now that my parents have passed, there's no opportunities for me to get together with them. Now, my one nephew, I know he listens to like True Weird Stuff and some of the stuff we do, but it's almost like it's on the down low. We don't want to let my sister know that doing that. I know
You're
it's
sneaking
very
around.
crazy. It's and the situation with my brother is, it's just too heartbreaking to talk about. I'd rather not. So I'll
Yeah.
just leave it at that.
When Kevin and I accidentally watched the movie The Straight Story about Alvin Straight. So if you heard us talk about this on the regular radio show, we actually had Alvin Straight as a guest on
We
our
did.
radio show. So Alvin Straight, he was born in the 40s in Montana, and he served in the Army. He was in World War II and the Korean War.
He was born in the 20s,
And
Sherry.
oh, I'm sorry, he was born in the 20s.
Yeah.
And so in real life and in the movie, because the movie is based on a real story. So he had a brother named Henry, and his brother had a stroke. And Alvin wanted to go visit his brother, but he was in his 70s at this point, and his health was terrible. He wasn't able to maintain his driver's license because of his vision. He had diabetes, he had emphysema, and he wanted to go see his brother. So back in I think it was 1994, the summer of 1994, he got on his John Deere riding lawnmower, and he set up a little trailer that he had loaded with food and gasoline and sleeping bag, folding chair, and he got on the highway on his riding mower, and he went to see his brother because they were both old and in bad health, and Alvin could not bear to not see his brother one more time before he died. And they were estranged. And so in this movie, it's called The Straight Story. It's got like Harry Dean Stanton, Richard Farnsworth plays Alvin. It was directed by David Lynch, so it has a little bit of that David Lynchian weirdness. Like you keep waiting for something super weird to happen. Sissy Spacek is in it as Alvin's daughter. Anyway, the scene at the end where the brother comes out of the house and he's standing on the porch, and these two tired, not feeling great, two old men look at each other, and you can see their eyes are filling with tears. But they just sit down and talk. There's no big dramatic moment of, I had to see you before you died. There's none of that. It's just like two men who are not great at talking, much less talking about their feelings, reconnecting. And it's so beautiful, and it makes me think about like what you just said, Max. Like I have two brothers that are estranged from each other. And it makes me think about what you just said that some things are just too sad and awful, and you just don't want to talk about it because at the end of it, that's your brother.
Mm-hmm. He is.
That's your brother. Just
No
like
matter what.
it was Alvin's brother. And these families are just like anything else. They're fragile. They're the strongest thing in the world, and then they're as fragile as a piece of glass. They're just fragile because it's just people trying their best and sometimes not trying at all to hold it all together.
Yeah.
And it's
go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's a lucky thing. If you're listening to this and go, man, this is not my brother, this is not my sister, you're blessed.
Yeah.
Right?
My parents had neighbors that when they lived in Nevada, they had neighbors who, a woman was a nurse. And anyhow, she and her husband used to look in on my parents all the time. And then she'd give me little updates and stuff. So she met everybody in the family, and she assessed everybody in the family for me. And she said, you're not the crazy one. And she said, and we'll be your siblings. She and her husband. She said, we'll be your siblings. And I said, okay, that suits me fine. So I keep up with them and let them know what's going on with me, and especially on days that were big for my parents, like their birthdays and anniversary and all that sort of stuff. We usually will reach out to each other back and forth, because my brother had no relationship with my parents when they passed, and when they passed, it was very weird, because it's almost like I've been orphaned in the world, because I don't have a relationship with my sister. The situation with my brother was very difficult, painful, complicated, and so it's been interesting that you end up, if you don't find that, you end up finding your family in the world, and you find the people that take you for who you are and not who they want you to be. And I think that that's a very difficult thing to do, because I think you want to be, I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be, especially with my sister, I wanted to be accepted by her. I wanted her to like me. But she doesn't.
You want the acceptance, but you also want them to. It's just human nature. You want your family to be proud of you, right?
Yeah, and
You just do.
I had the very good. I'm sorry that this ended up becoming my therapy session. I apologize about that. But I'll say this
Do
about.
not apologize.
I'll say this about my parents. When I went out. So I was nominated for this award, for producing the Bob and Sheri show. So they were living in Las Vegas at the time. So I went out there, and I've told this story before, so I apologize if you're hearing this again. But I went out to the awards that were part of the Billboard Music Awards. And so I didn't win the award, but as I was going, I didn't know what to wear. So I just wore a suit. Everybody else is dressed like they're Hollywood. Do you know what I mean? I'm dressed like a school principal. But anyhow.
But you look good in a suit, brother.
I'm
good
heading
in a
out
suit.
the door, and my mother stood in front of me, and she's picking lint off of the suit. she's finding it. And she didn't look me in the eye, but she says, I'm really proud of you. It was the first time she'd ever said it.
Wow.
And then in successive years, she would say it and look me in the eye. But it was almost like she couldn't at the time, because they never understood. They never understood why I was involved with theater. They never understood why I wanted to do this for a living. They never understood any of that stuff. But for her to do that meant that she took a little step forward and said, I'm proud of what you are, even though it's not what I wanted you to be.
And tell me that wasn't like a rain shower in the desert.
Oh my
like
God.
if that
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
just
Oh my
so
God.
healing. And it's so simple, because I think as humans, we make things we try to make things so complicated, when really, like, it comes down to, I'm sorry, I love you, I'm proud of you, can I help, can you help me, do you need something, right? Like basically, like, so much of what we need to say to each other, it's so simple, isn't it?
Well, and I think
it's so hard.
What was interesting about this situation is I wasn't doing things to make them proud of me. Do you understand? You see what I mean? I wasn't trying to curry favor with them by acting the way I thought they wanted me to act. Do you know what I mean? To do what they wanted me to do. So the fact that I wasn't seeking that approval and ended up getting it was just gravy on top of a life that I already loved.
Yeah.
But it meant the world coming from her.
Oh, it did. And and both of them, both of my parents, then it was like the dam broke after that. Then they were always happy that they were happy to see me. I think the thing that I loved most was when I would call and my father would recognize that it was me, and I could hear him brighten on the phone. It was like, oh, he's calling. And my sister was almost resentful of the fact that they accepted me as I was, because she couldn't, and and so I mean, and we ended up having a relationship. I think sometimes when you have to have a relationship with people, sometimes you have to meet them where they are. Do you know what I mean?
You can't wait for them to come to you every time.
No, and
you've got to go to them.
Sometimes when you're in these situations, if you want to have a relationship with somebody, I think what you have to do is say, I'm going to meet you where you are, because if I try to meet you where I think you should be, I'm going to be disappointed. And so you say, this is the best that I'm going to do. And so then you try to meet people where they are. And that's what I tried to do with them. And I think that's the reason that we ended up having the relationship that we had, in the last years of their life.
Which,
and it was well worth it, was it not?
Yeah.
It was.
Absolutely.
It was.
Yes.
It was. Yeah. There's no question about that at all. I mean, my sister is the one who took care of them. She's the one that found the assisted care facility. She's the one that went over there many days a week. I mean, she did so much for them, but I'm 400 miles away. It's not so simple. It's not so easy.
Well, and it's not fair either. Things fall disproportionately. Responsibilities and burdens fall disproportionately in families like they do everywhere else. And I'm sorry that your sister was in the same town as your mom and dad at the end when they needed so much help. This is the same person who, if you had quit your job and gone and lived on their couch, then you would have been a bum and a mooch. Like, there was no way for you to win here. It's
There was
not,
no win
it's
this
not a
game.
fair.
No, there was no winning. And
It's not a fair expectation for, well, why aren't you here? Well, because I'm not independently wealthy, girl, and I have to go to work every day.
I do.
Well, you have a stupid job. Well, be that as it may, it pays my stupid
job.
rent and my stupid car insurance. Like, it's not a fair. I get being pissed off at the disproportionate load. Oh, buddy, do I get it? But it's not fair to hold it against you like it was some crime.
Well, and I think that if that had been all that there was, then you'd say, well, that's why she felt the way she did. But she felt that way long before that happened. So that was just more fuel for the fire. That was just more reason for her to dislike me. And her dislike of me it's crazy. I mean, it really is. I mean, I'm if she got to know me.
Listen, I got to tell you, Sheri, you'll agree with this. You would be the hardest person that I can think of not to like. It's impossible not to like you. Am I right, Sheri?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't get it.
He's accommodating. He's
To a fault.
He's helpful.
Sometimes to a fault.
Yes, he's accommodating, and I mean, he will do anything in the world for you. He's, listen. It's this whole job right here. He sends me crap multiple times a month about something that I did, and he's very complimentary, and it's awesome. And he does that. He don't just do it for me. I'm sure he does it for millions of people, or not millions, but a lot of people. He's a very complimentary person. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Well,
yes, Amazon, I know you're here. Okay. I'm sorry.
Thank God you have that dog to protect you from those people.
Yeah.
You can tell
She's
you can tell that's Lamar's dog, because that dog is responding to something that's really happening in the environment. My dog right now, I'm looking at him. My dog is looking at his paw with such intensity that I think it may be speaking to him. All I ask, you guys know this is true. I was like, dear God, I'm going to rescue a dog that desperately needs a home. If this one could have a little bit of sense. I'm not looking for like those dogs that can push buttons and talk. No, ma'am, I know that I don't deserve that. But if I could have a dog that understands it's a dog and that this is the living room and that's the yard, that would be such a victory for me.
Oh my God.
I do not have that dog.
It is interesting the things that we draw into our lives, isn't it?
It is.
Well, you know what? I have drawn wonderful men into my life, which is an accomplishment considering where I started. and really, really jacked up, stupid dogs. And I'll take that. Because I would rather have wonderful men and jacked up dogs than jacked up men and wonderful dogs. Because here's the thing, like I have proven this. You can be a dog that's out of its mind and incontinent, and I will love you until the day you draw your last breath. You pull that shit with me as a human man, and DIVORCE. I don't have any patience for that.
Yeah.
So God was like, yeah, listen, this one's a bit of St. Peter, that girl, that one right there. You better send her some good men because she will kick their dumb asses to the curb, but give her every bad dog you can find. And throw in a couple of jacked up cats, too. She'll take them. So impressed with Darby. I saw when we were on our road trip, I was about to say our little road trip, but it was roughly 6,000 miles, so it wasn't little.
Yeah.
Bridger has been in 16 states, you guys.
Wow.
This dog that we rescued,
he's well traveled. Yes.
This dog went from the kill shelter to a 16-state tour of America. But we were at a big rest stop. You know, there's like little rest stops where serial killers hide, and then there are big rest stops that have
There's
dog
so much going
parks
on.
and-
Nobody could hide a body there because
Yeah.
there's just too much happening. Yeah, I got it.
We stopped at one of these big rest stops that has like a dog park and stuff. And some folks had a big, beautiful standard poodle like Darby. And we are not yet taking Bridger. If there are other dogs inside the dog park, we're not yet bringing him in because he's afraid of other dogs. Like, we're not afraid of him misbehaving. He's scared of other dogs.
Yeah.
So we've only had him for a couple of months. So we're trying to give him lots of time to get used to the idea of other dogs.
Yeah.
These people, this dog park had like little ramps, and do you know what I'm talking about? Like
I know.
agility?
Yeah.
There's a
agility
name
stuff,
for it.
yeah.
I can't think. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Lamar. These people were running this poodle through some Olympian choreography on these, and I'm watching this, and I'm looking over, and I'm like, Bridger, don't pee on your own foot. And I'm just standing there, and I was like, look at that poodle. That's like Lamar's poodle. I think Lamar's poodle can read and write. This dog is so freaking smart.
Yeah, they are pretty smart. Smart enough
she's
to make
brilliant.
me do whatever she wants me to do.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
So coming full circle back, one of the cool things that has happened in your life, Max, that I think is really wonderful is the way Mojo has become not just your first real dog, but your dog brother.
He has. Yeah, there's no question about that.
And until you have like a dog brother or sister, a cat brother or sister, like you just don't even know what that relationship, like you can't tell me you don't love that dog. Like he's your son and your brother and your bestie.
Yes, he's
You
all
do.
of those. Yes.
And sometimes I think that we get sent certain animals. They're like, they choose you because they see that you need like some sort of extra something, extra healing, extra unconditional love and devotion. And I think that Mojo came swimming through the currents of time and space to find you. Because even Mojo, dashing little schnauzer gentleman that he is, even Mojo was like, dude, your sister is now throw my ball for me. I'm here to be your boy.
Yeah. True. So true.
It's true. Yes.
Well, let's wrap this episode up. And if you're one of these people that's like, my sister is my best friend, my brother is my best friend, you are rich. You're rich beyond measure. Like, you're so lucky. Let's end. We have one more message that we wanted to play.
Oh yes,
in
we
this
want to play that.
episode.
And if I had,
let's do
if I had my act together, Sheri, I would have had that right up right away, and it will be.
That's what-
We're going to play it.
Hey, good
Your
morning.
sister just texted me.
Sherry, Lamar, Max, everybody. I just wanted to say good morning. This is Tracy from Hiddenite. I just wanted to tell you again how much I love the shows. I love your podcast and how much joy you bring to my life. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all that you do. Love you guys.
We love you. And you were
So
just
true.
nicer to us than. Well, Max doesn't even know how to receive that, is what you just said. That was like, that's some good medicine right there. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Oddcast. We do it every Monday and, of course, Friday in this very same feed right here. A brand new episode of Talking Lamar. And on Fridays, we drop a brand new episode of True Weird Stuff, the award-winning podcast that reminds you that fiction and horror movies get all their inspiration from real people doing real things to other real people. Our website is BOBANDSHERI.com. If you have the free Bob and Sheri app, you can tap that little microphone in the bottom center of the screen and talk. And the app will send your words flying through the air to us, and you may hear yourself on an upcoming Oddcast. Or if you like talking on the phone, and I imagine somebody must, 844-52-SHERI. Now, if you see Max's sister, don't tell her we were talking about her.
No.
Not because we don't want her to know we talk shit about her, but we don't want her to think anybody talks about her. So it's our secret. It's our little secret, okay? You're in the clubhouse now. We'll see you on the next podcast.